So, I've been browsing YouTube, Reddit, and other platforms, and I kept seeing a trend. Two sides arguing constantly about if Wano is a good arc. Everyone has opinions about Wano. I mean, it's been built up for ages, so fair enough. Those who are on the pro Wano side are saying that people are just being haters and are confused why people would constantly return to a series and complain about it. Why don't they just drop the series? They're making stuff up and they're just lost in their own headcanons. The expectations were too high. Or, thank God that they aren't writing One Piece, because otherwise, it would suck. So that's one side. The other side is saying that those who like Wano are not just trying to defend Oda, but are making excuses for his bad writing. And by doing that, tricking themselves into liking the arc because the flaws are just so apparent. That people are just doing mental loops. And the excuses? Just straight copium. Complete nonsense. And that any mention of a flaw or any expression of their genuine opinion would result in downvotes on Reddit, so their opinion isn't heard. Now, I don't think I need to mention the name calling because there's name calling wherever you go on the internet. But I think this here is where the solution to this feud lies, but we'll get back to that. Before that, let's ask, who is right? What team is on the right side? Who is seeing reality? Who's full of it? And who has a complete view of the situation? Well, I doubt it would surprise most of you, but it's pretty clear that neither side is fully right and both sides are seeing some aspect of the truth. Yes, there are people who hate just to be haters. Yes, it is kind of silly to keep up with the series if you do actually hate it, though I think most of them don't hate the series. And yeah, they aren't better writers than Oda. They would struggle to write something like One Piece for 20 years straight. From the other side, yeah, there are people who are just defending Oda and making excuses and very unwilling to hear any criticism whatsoever. That they downvote any negative comment and belittle people for just speaking their truth. But the people who tilt to these extremes to such a large degree are, guess what? In the minority. Whoever identifies with these extremes and these teams are the problem. It's tribalism at its finest. Most people just have their own opinion, and just that. And they want to express their opinion. We all do, right? We want to see if people agree with us, and if people disagree with us. We all want to have some sort of feedback from people. We want our opinions to be heard. But then, what's that saying about opinions? Everyone has them, and they stink. But I want to go more into that little saying. It's not that they stink because everyone's opinion is wrong or not valued. They stink because when you actually put your opinion out there, it's always going to stand out. A stink will stand out because you can smell it. A stink differentiates itself from the other smells, and that's how you can say, hey, something stinks. If it smelt like everything else, then you wouldn't be able to pick up on it. It's just like an opinion. If it's slightly different from another person, when you express it, that will be very obvious. You're taking a risk here. That's why people are getting tilted. It's the stench that opinions produce. I think we all understand this feeling. When someone craps on something we like, we feel an emotional ping in our bodies. Or, if someone has a different opinion than us, we can feel kind of uncomfortable and perhaps even combative. These aren't bad responses, and these responses have moments where they can be expressed. It's human to have these responses. It's okay. But acknowledge that this is what's happening. And for one side, if seeing complaining all the time frustrates you, if seeing something you love getting crapped on is annoying and makes you mad, I totally get that. I can understand that. Let's not act like we don't all feel that way to some extent. Feeling that is fine. But if it is too difficult, seeing all these negative comments about something you love, it is up to you to get yourself out of that situation. Because at the end of the day, most people are just expressing their opinions. So, if you need time away from the community because it feels toxic from your impression, then do exactly that. Take some time away. Give yourself permission to do that so that you can come back to the community and engage in it. Because the goal isn't to find a group of people who think just like you. It's to return and then see, okay, how much more negativity or other people's opinions about something I love can I withstand before I have to retreat again? Take the time, you got time, and develop a healthy relationship with the community. Not every place is going to be a safe place. Not every space is going to have the same opinion as you. Try not to just escape the community completely, because trust me when I say this is practice. When you go into the real world, disagreement is going to happen. It's always going to be there. You are going to feel some sort of negativity. So see this as a way to get better with dealing with negativity and difference of opinion. And you'll notice, bit by bit, that you'll be able to experience other people's opinions better. And not just that, you'll learn more and you'll be able to see more. It's the trial by fire that you need to experience in your life. And if you can learn that through your experience reading One Piece, I mean, that would be huge. Such a gift to get. Okay, so take your time. Come in and out of the community. Don't throw your hands up in the air and be like, the community sucks and I'm never coming back. The tension is where you should be. It's where you're gonna grow. And then when it gets too much, take a break and then come back for round 2, round 3, round 4, and by the time you get to round 5, you'll be fine. Trust me, that's life. And now for the other side. Stop thinking that people don't actually know what they like. It's a demeaning way to look at other people's genuine interests. I'm not saying you can't think the other person's opinion is wrong or incorrect, and you are obviously allowed to say, I think this is wrong because XYZ to anything, but don't belittle people's genuine experience. That's not cool, okay? If you feel like your opinion is not heard, like due to the downvotes and things like that, one thing I've seen people do is create a new subreddit so that different thoughts can be made. I think that's a good temporary idea, if it is that bad, but the key word is temporary. Because guess what? If someone writes, here's the flaws of Whole Cake Island or Enies Lobby or any other arc, people don't care as much. In fact, it's kind of interesting. They aren't riled up as much and far more open. Why is that? What makes Wano different? Well, it's because right now, Wano is the hot topic. Everyone is talking about Wano. So once the hype dies down a bit, you can absolutely come back to the main Reddit and just watch. People will be far more receptive to your opinion. Now I understand that perhaps you think, well, it shouldn't be this way. Why should I have to escape to another Reddit? Isn't that screwed up? Yeah it is. It's screwed up. You shouldn't be getting your opinions downvoted. That's complete nonsense. But what I'm trying to show is a solution that at least works, so you can feel heard. That's a solution for Reddit. So you can at least have something on that platform. Like the downvoting thing is a big problem. Though, YouTube is different, which is good. You can actually put your opinion out there. Just say your opinion without having to demonize the other side. You'll be surprised that people are far more receptive to that. And after that, people will either correct you or even change their opinion. They might learn something from you. Like imagine that. Someone learning a new insight from you. How amazing would that be? Even if it is something negative, they're still learning something. That would be incredible. And the only way for that to happen is to make them receptive to that in the first place. And it isn't going to happen by arguing like crazy. No, that will not work. You have to be a receptive presence to get your point across. You gotta just engage with the conversation. In order for people to understand your perspective, you need to be inviting. And if it doesn't feel like an invitation for a discussion, no one will discuss with you. And then your great opinion, that you've perhaps spent ages working on, and that also reflects your authentic experience, you won't be able to connect that with other people. Okay? You can show your opinion without belittling a group of people. You can do that. It's not impossible. Alright? So these are some solutions, and that's what we should be focusing on. Solutions. We want things to be better. Okay? So let's focus on solving problems. So if you guys have any further solutions, please mention them in the comment section. Anyways, people who think Wano is good can come together with those who think Wano is bad. If you talk just a little, you'll find out pretty quickly that there's a ton you guys actually agree on and disagree on, and that's the point. Because that's okay. What really matters isn't whether Wano is good or not. Like, the discussion doesn't matter. What matters is that we can all share our opinions and not be demonized for it. Whether they are positive or negative, understand that the criticism of something you like is something you have to deal with. And if you want people to understand your perspective, even if you go against the crowd, you have to talk in a way that's inviting. And people aren't just deluding themselves, okay? A part of putting yourself out there is that there will always be some form of pushback. Those who think Wano sucks will get pushback from those who think Wano is good. Just like those who think Wano is good will get pushback from those who think Wano sucks. That's just how it is. Pushback isn't belittling. Pushback is just further explaining what you think. It's healthy disagreement. That's all it is. When someone starts acting up obnoxiously, just ignore them. That's what you gotta do. And I'm not acting like it's easy, right? But it is what we should do if we want to be better people. So, can we complain about Wano? Yes, we can. We can complain about anything, just like we can love anything. If someone has an opinion about that, well, it's gonna stink. And that's the point. Thanks for listening.